Hello RC friends and welcome to this video today where today I am going to be making a brand new body shell for my Mardave mini assassin. Now I have got a fresh body here and at the start of the new year it's a start of a new series, so I figure why not go into it with a fresh new body on the car. I have decided to use this as my inspiration. Well, technically the inspiration came from Talladega Nights and I wanted to do Ricky Bobby's final car, and then when I googled to try and find a sticker of this animal here, I don't know what animal it is. I ended up searching for tiger sticker because I couldn't really find anything, and I found these cool tiger stickers here. So I've got a few of them and this is going to be the basis of the design for my new body shell. But what's it going to look like, you might think? Well, let's get out with the old and in with the new. So my general idea is the tiger sticker is going to go on the top. Then because the tiger sticker has a white kind of edging to it, I think I'm going to do the whole top of the roof black. So I've got this Tamiya PS5 color here ready to go, and that is going to be the basis for the roof. I'm also going to keep in line with the other colors of the tiger. So I have got a red, which will simulate the tiger's tongue, and the tiger's tongue will be this front kind of grille portion of the car here. Then, of course, we have got lots of white on the tiger, so I've got a can of white here, and that's going to be like a nice fluffy mane across the back of it. And I am also going to be using this silver here and this mustard yellow. Now the mustard yellow is going to be the main color for the tiger, and I thought it was going to be orangey enough, and now looking at it I don't know, but ultimately I don't want to have to worry about getting any extra paint. So this is going to be the main tigery color. I'm hoping it's going to come out okay. Now there are tricks too when you're using your paints to make them kind of come up a little bit brighter or be a little bit darker, and in order to make this light up a little bit and pop a little bit more, I'm actually going to back it with this white too. So when I'm spraying my colors, I'm going to do the grey and then I'm going to do the white, so this gets a nice white finish to it on the back, which will help it be a little bit brighter on the front end. And I'm going to do the exact same thing but the opposite when it comes to the mustard yellow. If I back this with white it would brighten it up, but I actually want to see if I can darken it down a little bit, which is why I'm going to put this on and then put the black behind it when I spray the roof. So I need to spray this car in a very specific order in order to get the kind of end result that I'm looking for. And that's pretty much the paint plan. Once that's all on there, I can stick my tiger sticker on the roof and hopefully it will look really good. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be sad. Usually with my bodies when I paint them, I don't like to spend a lot of time on them because they usually come out a little bit naff. So this time I'm actually gonna put some effort into it. I'm gonna take my time, I'm gonna mask it slowly, and I'm gonna pray, because if this doesn't come out well, or if there's overspray, or if the masks don't work, yeah, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be really sad. Also for this car, I have made some custom stencil-y things. Custom paint masks, that's what they're called. So in the kit they come with these masks here, and these are to mask off the windows and the grills and whatnot, so you have clear windows when you run in the car. And I am going to mask my windows, but I'm not going to use these masks, just because when I used the masks on my previous car it left a really sticky residue and I was just not able to remove it for the life of me. So I am not going to use these masks, and instead I am going to use these masks. Now these masks I've actually designed and created myself. They have got jaggedy kind of bits on there to simulate the fur contour lines of the tiger, and I've also created my own window masks on here too, because I'd like to think that this vinyl is going to leave less of a sticky residue or no sticky residue at all, which will end up making the car just look better and cleaner, and it means there's not going to be any sticky stuff on the inside of the body, which is going to collect all that carpet dust and fluff and whatnot, because it makes the shell look really dirty and naffy, and I don't want that to happen with this one. My good friend Mr. Jimmy also did vinyl cut me some masks too, so I'm going to put his mask on one side of the car and my masks on the other side of the car, and then I'm going to see which ones came out better. And that is pretty much it for all of the paint prep. All we've got to do now is cut our body and start spraying. Now, some of you who have done car bodies before may think, why are you cutting it first? Well, the reason for that is if I cut it first and do all my body post holes now, it's actually much easier to work out where everything is meant to go. Also, if you paint it first and then cut it later, not only are you kind of cutting it in the dark a little bit, but it's also easy to scratch the paint with your scissors as you're going through, even if you're using Lexan specific scissors. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cut cut this first of all, mount it on the car so my body post holes are all in the correct place, and then we'll be ready to prep it and paint it. Now to cut the shell, I'm going to be using these special scissors here. They have got a very bendy curly tip, and the reason for that is to give you better angles when cutting through the wheel arches and just around those little hard to reach areas. With the body, I'm actually just going to cut off this bottom part of the flat bit of the vacuum forming, so I want to try and keep as much plastic on the shell as possible. Usually, as you can tell, I like to remove aspects of shells, and I don't want to do that at all to this build, so let's cut those bits off and see where we're at. That is all of that bottom stuff off. It is a little bit rough in the edges, and that's fine because I'll kind of want to put it on the car now, see how it looks, and then start removing extra material until it sits just right. Now, the way I've got my body posts on this car is the back body posts actually stick out the back and the front ones go straight up. So when I'm trying to sit it on the car, I can't really do it in a way that makes it easy to see what's going on where. So I'm going to remove the rear body posts, which is going to make this bit a little bit easier. Now, these rear body posts are a little bit bodged actually from other ones which I've cut down to put on there because I changed how it was mounted. So we're going to mount those ones instead of these ones when we get back to putting this on the car. So in order to do this, I'm going to mark where the holes are, like the dead middle of the hole, using a little bit of pen ink, and then I've got a reamer tool which I will use to then cut the holes. This is a reamer. It's very cheap actually to get them, and it's essentially just a really big sharp pointy thing like that. And what I do is with this, I put it in, I ream it round until I get the size hole that I want, and then the shell will fit on the car. That's the theory anyway. As long as my holes are in the right place. Let's now cut these wheel arches out, and I'm going to do it inside the line, inside the recommended line, just to give me the option to cut off more material later if I choose to. Unfortunately, I've just realised that my camera stopped recording and we have missed part of the build process, sadly. But do not fear, I will catch you up where we are. The body post mounts are now on and I have set the level for the body. The rest of the body has been cut and tidied up and it's in its final form. The window masks are also on there now. The black ones are mine and the white ones are Jimmy's that he gave me. And I am now scratching the inside of the body shell with my scratchy red pad because by doing that, it helps the paint stick to it better. If you don't do that, when it gets hit or knocked, the paint will just flake off and it will look rubbish. Which is why I use this pad here and just go over everything I want to paint and give it a good scratch. I need to now start putting all of my little masks on. I'm going to start with this one here, which I actually put on already and then had to take off because I forgot I needed to score everything with my little red pad. And you know what? I actually put it on better this time than I did the first time, so that's okay with me. Now, I'm not going to mask off the lights just because I have got these little light stickers here, so whatever these end up being, they're going to end up being that color. Look at that. I am very, very happy with that. Now, I know it looks quite rough and a little bit naffy, and there's lots and lots of different little bits of paint and tape in here, but I think it will hold. As long as all the seams are there, there's multiple layers of tape here. So when I spray this first bit, which is going to be the silver color, I can then remove the W bits, which is the white, paint over that. Then it is time for the mustard yellow to come off, and then finally all of the black as well. And when we get to that point, that's roughly when we're going to see if we've got something good or not. Now, this is going to be lots of different layers and sprays of paint, and I am really excited to get this going. So let's just start moving on to the paint section. Now, in order to do this, I am going to once again take my time. I always get very impatient is the word when it comes to painting these, just because I want them to be done as quickly as possible. But slow and steady wins the race, and lots of very light fine coats is infinitely better than just a couple fat heavy coats. So that is what I am going to do. I'm going to lightly mist the paint on this, and hopefully everything will go well as a result of that. Actually does look quite nice, that silver from the outside. I think my black lines may be a little bit too narrow, but hey, we'll wait and see when it's done. That side could probably have a little bit more paint on, actually. Yeah, let's top that bit up. And here we have it. All of the paint is on. There's only a few window masks that we have to take off, and the outer plastic that's on it all, which catches all the overspray. And as you can see, all this silver bit stuff right here and all the dark stuff on here, that is overspray. Well, hopefully. Either that or I managed to paint it where I didn't want to paint it. So let's get those window masks off, the outer film off, and see what we've got. And that doesn't look too bad. I was a little bit worried that there wasn't going to be enough mustard yellow there to kind of complement the tiger's mane, and you know what? I wish there was more of that, but you know what? That actually does look pretty darn cool. But I do have a few stickers to add onto here to finish the look. And there we have it. My Mardave mini assassin shell for the first series of 2023. Now, did it come out exactly the vision that I had in my head? Not exactly, but you know what? I am super chuffed with this. Really, really happy. It is much better than I thought I was going to get when doing this. There's a couple of little scratchy bits here and here, which I'm really frustrated about because I actually scratched that beforehand when I tried to finish this off the first time. Oh, what? But you know, those little two scratchy bits aside, everything else came out really, really nicely. All of the masks I designed on a cry-cut machine came out really, really well. And the window masks, there's literally like no difference at all in quality between the ones that I've made and the ones that Jimmy's made. So you know what? They are now going to be on the website. If you want to pick up some window masks for your Mardave Mini Assassin because you don't want to use the stock ones that come with the body shell because the adhesive is terrible, you can now get really nice clean ones on the Project Airsoft website under the mini RC section area. Links in the description so you don't have to keep finding where it is. The only thing left to do now is to put it on the car and see what the final look looks like. And there we have it. I must admit, I'm really happy with that. I don't know how I feel actually about the front red grille there. It is supposed to mimic the tiger's tongue on the top, and I feel like it kind of does do that. But overall, yeah, I'm really happy with that. Really, really, really happy with that. I think that looks pretty darn good. All in all, what time is it now? It is 5:30 in the morning, and I started to get these cut at roughly about 10 to 10. So in total, this body has taken me 7.5 hours to do, not including the actual time taken to design the paint masks as well. So probably all in all, this little body shell here has taken me roughly around 8.5 hours, 9 hours to do today. Was it worth it? I'm gonna go ahead and say yes because it looks cool and I'm proud of that. I'm genuinely really proud of that. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've learned a lot. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any tips or tricks for me to be aware of for my next build. Remember to subscribe, drop the video a like, and don't be arsey.